Welcome to the International English Language Testing System. This is Tanjit Sath and I am your examiner. My examiner ID is 69420 and my examinee ID is 6942069. So good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So can I know your name?
My name is Redwan Ahmed, but you can call me Redwan.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you some personal questions.
Okay.
So what do you do in your leisure time?
In my leisure times, I usually spend times with my friends and play with them.
Oh, okay. So what are you currently studying or working?
I'm currently studying at MUBC in class 9.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you some questions about food and cooking. So are you ready?
Obviously.
So what kinds of food do you like to eat?
I like to eat traditional foods like pantailis and many other traditional foods of our country.
So what kinds of new food would you like to try?
I would like to try our outer countries traditional foods like Pakistan's, then what you say, the Maldives. That's it.
Okay, so do you like cooking?
Mm, uh, well, you see, I'm a boy. I don't like cooking that much.
Okay, so what was the last meal you cooked?
Uh, well, the last meal I cooked was fried rice.
Okay, so do you prefer home cooked food or food from restaurants?
I prefer home cooked food because they are healthy and very nutritious for our health.
Okay, so let's move to part two. In this part, I'm going to give you a cue card, and you have to talk about this topic for 1 or 2 minutes. If you wish, you can make notes. You have 1 minute to think about it. Okay, so your time is over.
Well, the hobby I'm interested in is gardening. When I have nothing to do, I look after my garden. This gives me pleasure, and I spend a lot of time take care by taking care my plants and flowers. I love flowers and other plants, you just said, and this give me mentally this gets me mentally free from the anxiety I have that day, and this is the favorite hobby of mine. So that's it.
Okay, so let's move to part three. So, do you think having a hobby is good for people's social life? In what way?
Well, having a hobby is good for people's social life because people have to get a rest of their brain, and a hobby gives you that. You prefer it in your leisure time, so they get the mind fresh by it.
Okay, so are there any negative effects of a person spending too much time on their hobby? What
Uh,
are they?
there are some negative effects of people spending too much time on their hobby because uh, people might spend their time more generously than spending it lavishly because uh, if you what you say uh, if you spend your time lavishly, it can harm your studies and it may affect your uh, what you say social life and etc.
Okay, so why do you think people need to have interest or hobby?
To keep their mind fresh and be happy, they have to get a hobby for themselves.
Okay, so in your country, how much time do people spend on work and how much time on leisure? Is this a good balance? Do you think?
The balance of my country people spending on work and spending the time in leisure is not in a good balance, because uh, our country people works 5 days a week and they spend only 2 days of leisure. This, I don't think this is necessary time for them to
Okay, so
spend it.
would you say the amount of free time has changed much in the last 50 years?
Well, the amount of free time I think has much changed in last 50 years, because people in past who have less work than people now are doing. That's why
Okay, do you think people will have more or less free time in the future, and why?
people will have less free time in the future, because they have in future the work uh, places and the people's work will continuously what you say will grow, and thus people would not be able to spend much time on their leisure.
Okay, so this is the end of your English language speaking test.